Okay guys, today I want to do a lesson about Bullflag. Um, I was gonna do about key level earlier, but I don't really have a good examples that I can use today. Oh well, there's a bunch of examples, but most likely it's not as often as you see earlier from today's trading. So I just want to do Bullflag for now because I made so much money just based trading on Bullflag and bearflag, right? So and in order to learn about Bullflag, you need to learn first about trend line. Once you know where the trend is, then you can find the Bullflag easily, right? So first examples. Um, I was waiting. I was making a call right here, assuming that this was the bottom of the day, and then I got it right, and I made about like 40% over here. And from what I've noticed, that bull flag and the moving averages is always how do I say it? Like they're always connected to each other. So for examples, after it broke the 50 moving average, I want to enter my second position, right? And then I'm assuming there will be a bull flag. And the first one, I thought it was completed already from this downfall, and then it's trying to reject some of the levels or maybe some of the moving averages over here, right? And then this gives me hopes right here, this candle right here, right? So from this becoming a big bullish hammer, yeah, I thought, oh, okay, maybe I should wait because I already found the trend line right here from this two pinpoint, uh, and I was waiting, and then as soon as it comes out like right here, right, I went in. And sometimes it really doesn't go your ways, right? Sometimes there's not enough buyer to fill in over here. But then I waited, and then we see a big green candle. As soon as I saw this big green candle, right, I went in immediately. I just bought in, like, even though it looks like a FOMO, but look at this candle, it's big. And then I was expecting that it will go somewhere from the previous breakdown of this structure right here, which is something right here, right? So I put it, I went in, and then I trimmed as soon as I saw this candle right here, like at this level. I trimmed immediately. And then I saw this something kind of like a reversal. I decided to close all of my position, right? Alright, so in this case, right, it looks like it wants to break the 50 moving average. And then also we find that there's a trend line right here. You can see it just from this wave, right? This wave got bounced right here. There should be a trend line, right? And I was waiting. I don't want to go in position immediately because there's no a good setup for a call, and there's no good setup for a put. So I waited. Then I saw this bears evening star formation on candlestick. I think, like, I was thinking of, like, oh, okay, maybe this is gonna go down, and then it broke down the 50 moving average, broke down the trend. Now I'm waiting for it to retest, right? Retest, and then hopefully give me another signals of candlestick, right? I'm waiting, staying still, waiting, because when I saw this, like, oh man, if I get the bear flag right here, I'm gonna make so much money going down here, right? Because there's no levels. Now, as usual, bear flag and bull flag, they both have trends. From this wick, you can connect the line, right? This is the trend right here. From the first wick, the second wick. Then, as soon as I saw this, oh wait, it just got rejected right on the 50 moving average, right? Right on the 50 moving average, and then it creating like bearish engulfing signals, right? And then is it gonna leave the trend? And when I saw this, I jumped in immediately in my position, pretty heavy, because I was expecting that this is gonna be the a range like somewhere in between this and this, right? So the first thing I saw, it was like this was a good bull flag because it was breaking the range. When you see a range is breaking, the movement is very huge, right? That's when you make a lot of money. Normally, before they start leaving the range, they created sometimes some things like a bull flag or a bear flag. So in a range, either way, you will make a lot of money because of the big movement when the price is leaving the range, right? And then when I saw this, hey, it went up, but it didn't go as expected, so it went back inside this range again. So if you see something like this, like it went back inside of the range, it should be the sellers are very strong. So in this case, I'm just gonna assume that, hey, if this becomes a bear flag, I think it's gonna go fall down all the way to the bottom of the range, right? So I went in as soon as it breaks the trend on the bear flag. Look what happened. Right? Soon as it touches the bottom of the range, I trim, right? And then I trim pretty heavily, and then I left some of it. From this drop, I made about 89 to 95%, and then now this is the real big money comes in. It goes back down to the demand zone. So I close all of my position since I'm pretty sure that this is the demand zone, right? And that's about it. The trading of the day, 130% or something on SPX. Okay, so I'm gonna give you more examples of a bull flag. Oh, there's so many of them. Normally it's right before they break the range, right? So in these examples, this is not a good examples of a very good bullish setup, despite the fact, as you can see, this is very choppy, right? Choppy means there's lacking of volume, lacking of market participation. That's when choppy got established. And then for examples, right? This is a very good setup, right? This normally, like when you see a bull flag, you need to learn, you need to understand a lot, or at least memorize a lot about a bullish candlestick formation. What do we see here, right? So it went down, it went up, it created a trend that we can see, right? Remember, first thing you need to see on the bull flag is a trend. Can you find the trend, right? And then the second thing that you need to see, like, okay, you need at least two bullish candlestick formation. So for example, it's like we know there's a bullish engulfing over here, and then it rejected this key level, right? Rejected this key level, bullish momentum, and then we have the second bullish momentum right here. And then as soon as he's trying to leave the trend, we go in, right? So once you go in right here, don't just like, oh, okay, the first red candle I see, I'm just gonna close my position. No, it could be retesting the trend line. Once it broke the trend line, it's gonna retest. The same thing with the tradings today, right? Once you broke the trend line, it's gonna come back to the trend, the previous trend line, right? Oh, this is a horrible example of a bull flag, right? Horrible examples. A good one should look like this. This is a good one, right? This is one of the good one. This is a good bull flag right here, huh? It's very obvious, and then you can see it. The second one is a semi-good bull flag. There's some choppiness a little bit, and then this one is a very unclear bull flag. Like you can bear. Sometimes I missed it. Sometimes I get it, but most of the time, like you see like an evening. I mean a morning star formation. You can see it in the candlestick guide under the education tabs. You have normally what you see is some kind of like bullish engulfing or a hammer. A hammer is a good sign to the upside, but the hammer needs to be on the bottom, not on the top, right? This normally you see a morning star, a bullish engulfing signals, and yeah, but that's what you see most of the time on the bull flag to confirm that it's gonna break the trend, right? Or sometimes it's just based on the price action or just a normal trend breaks out, right? It's very easy to see. And then this, you can barely see it, right? There's a trend right here, right? So, oh, I forgot to mention that a bull flag is not a reversal signals. It's actually a continuation. So you cannot consider this a bull flag, right? After the downtrend, it becomes a reversal signals, right? And then once it goes up, then you can consider it a bull flag because it's continuation to the upside, not a reversal signals. All right, this is a terrible examples of bull flag. It's very choppy. You probably want to play a lottery over here from this choppiness, right? And then where's another bull flag? Okay, so this sometimes a little bit confusing. Yeah, it looks like it's gonna go down, but no, look at the trend, look at the price, how it moves. All right, so this is a bull flag out of this impulse right here. Okay, then let's find another example. This is a good bull flag. You can see the trend. Yeah. This is a bad bull flag. You cannot see the trend at all, but you can place your bet on it. Right. This is a very good example of a bull flag that is leaving the range, right? This is the range. The range is over here and is creating a bull flag inside of the range, telling you, hey, we're gonna go up pretty high. Yeah. So a good bull flag is always the one that's trying to leave the range. Yeah. Or it's retesting. So let's say like the bull flag is leaving the range, right? This breaks up and it retests back down to the top of the range, and then creating some kind of consolidation like a flag trying to break another impulse to the upside. So bull flag is creating an impulse to the upside, and then normally the impulse is as long as the previous impulse, right? So we got this impulse, Bullflag, and then we just assume the next impulse is gonna be as long as the first one, right? So let's say I'm gonna move this over here. Pretty much the same, kind of the same, and then you're probably gonna create another Bullflag, and then it's gonna go up, probably the same or maybe a little weaker, right? Okay, this is a good example of a Bullflag with the candlestick signal. So we have a bullish engulfing right here, breaking from this range, right? This is the range. Remember guys, there is a range, there is a trend, right? Bullflag has two shapes. It could be a range, it could be a trend. So the trend normally it could be like this. A good bear flag is something like this, right? You have the candlestick bear signals. We have some type of a hammer along with a big red candle. It is shaped like close to like evening star or formation. After he broke the 50, usually like a good bear flag, you can see it after he broke the 50, and then it's gonna bounce back to the 50 moving average, and it get rejected again. Normally you'll find a trend something like this. Yeah, the trend on this one is just like this, and then the second one is just like this. And then remember, after it broke down, it always retests the trend. Broke down, sometimes you don't see it retesting the trend, right? But most of the time you'll see a retest on the trend. And then this is a very unclear bull flag. I wouldn't go in by position, but I was kind of playing a lottery. So if you guys don't know, if I mark something like this, that means like I entered this position, right? This is a very good setup of a bull flag. Very good bull flag. And then this one, you can see the trend as well. This is a very good bull flag. And this one is very obvious, not a good bull flag right here, right? If you want to see a good bull flag, you can just always replay this video. This is a very good setup of a bull flag as well. This one is very good setup as well. It gives you the candlestick signals, right? Okay, I guess that's about it. You can always replay the video, and then you look for the bull flag that I always entered. Normally I would enter this bull flag and this bull flag, but I guess I wasn't on SPY the other day, so I didn't really mark it. And okay, so what do we learn today? I'm just gonna pull out the notepad. Okay, what is the criteria of a bull flag? Normally a bull flag is it has a trend, right? It has a trend, or it's ranging. When it's choppy, it's gonna range, right? The second thing, it has to have an impulse. The impulse means a big movement to the upside. So like for example, you see a bull flag right here. This is a very bad bull flag, I would say, but it was the market open. The market open is very volatile, so I just take whatever chances I got. So the impulse means the first jump that you see after the reversal signals, right? So we see an impulse, and we will see the flag. The flag is somewhere like this, right? You see the flag. The first flag, the second impulse is normally as long as the first impulse. So this thing will be as long as this one, right? That's what I meant by impulse, like a big movement to the upside or a big movement to the downside. Either way, it's gonna work. I'm gonna give you some more of a bearish formation. So the impulse of the Bullflag is most likely the same as the previous impulse. Okay. Okay, what other else criteria that we have over here? Okay, you can find Bullflag usually can be found when it's breaking out from a range or after it broke out from the range. That's when you get a big impulse. Alright, so if you guys have something to add, please let me know. And then for a good example of a bear flag, like I said, a good example of a bear flag, this is a bull flag by the way, so I'm just gonna put the bear flag. A good setup of a bear flag, normally it's below the 50 moving average, right? Normally found after this breaks, after it broke down, crossing the moving the 50 EMA. After it breaks down, wait until it comes back up right below the 50 moving average, and then wait for the confirmation. Normally it's in the shape of candlestick formation, the same thing as the bull flag. They both have a candlestick formation. So for example, once it broke the range, creating some type of evening star formation on the candlestick, that's when you get in, right? Once it broke the range with the confirmation of, for example, like you can see, like there's a bearish engulfing or maybe like an evening star formation, right? That's when you get in. The same thing as this one. You see a hammer plus a green candle going to the upside. That's when you get in, breaking the trend, right? A bullish confirmation of a candlestick formation, and it's breaking the trend. As normally, like you probably on the right directions. If you see that, then you are on the right directions. All right, and I'm gonna give you more of a bear flag. See, it's always below the 50 moving. After it broke down, let's say you didn't catch this drop because there's no setup, right? After it broke down the 50, it's always like hanging below the 50, then it goes further down, right? That's what I like to see on a bearish formation, so on a bear flag. So this is a pretty bad bear flag. This is a very bad bear flag. You probably think that this is gonna be a reversal, but no. We have a like I said earlier, watch for the trend and watch for the candlestick formation. This is a very obvious morning star, evening star signals, right? Okay, and the whole time the trend has been going up lately, so it's very hard to find a bear flag. Okay, so this is a very tricky bear flag, but you can try. I would not size in. Yeah, it's not below the 50, but it's somehow creating a trend. This is a very tricky one. It could be bullish and suddenly it becomes bearish. Very tricky. You'll see a lot of this in the day trading session. This is a good bull flag. And then once we enter the bear market, I'm gonna make another video of a bear flag because we haven't really entered the bear market yet. This is a good one right here. And then where's another bear flag? See this? Gotta be careful on this one. Be careful. Always wait a bear flag until it touches the 50, but not breaking up or crossing the 50. Alright? Careful. Alright. This is a good, I think might be a good examples of a bear flag. A bear flag can be found in a range as well. Right, it could be ranging, it could be creating a flag with a trend, but this one I think is ranging. Lack of volume, a lot of sellers. All right, this is a very tricky bear flag, but you can only see from the candlestick movement. It's ranging, and you'll see candlestick bearish engulfing signal, something like that, but you cannot find a trend at all. Maybe maybe you can expect something like, oh okay, if this breaks below this previous the previous low right here, this two previous low, if this breaks below it, I'm gonna short it. But this is like I said, this is a horrible setup. I would put like very little money on it. I'm not gonna put a lot. I'm not gonna size in as usual. But if you find a good one, you can always size in, right? Right. I guess that's about it for today video. It's about bull flag and bear flag. I hope you find it helpful on your day trading. All right, and thank you.